Hello everybody, Scoob here. Welcome back to Tokyo Ghoul. We call this survival guide. Today we're going to be doing a Tokyo Ghoul character rather than a CAC. Also, before I start the video, if you do have this CAC build, go ahead and use it rather than using Tokyo Ghoul character. You're going to have a much easier time. And also, if you do have the train station unlocked, go ahead and go into that map. But if you don't want to, or for some reason you just wanted to do this map, you can go on ahead and do this. For the team we're going to be doing is the same one we did for CAC the last time. Alright, similar to the last one, we're going to be using our pistol to take out the weaker enemies and sometimes go up to them, use our Kagunes and Quinke. I would recommend taking out, similar to the last one, like mini Ukas, and then take out the higher ranking ghouls of Bikaku and Ukas, because those are the most annoying and they can cause a bit of trouble, especially if there's multiple of them nearby. The electric bugs you want to avoid shooting unless one of the high ranking ghouls are nearby, as your partners and yourself will be stuck in the explosive by the time it goes off. Even if you smash the button fast enough, you'll still get hit by it. Also, make sure you loot the bodies whenever you get the chance. Getting that awakening is a good idea. Instead of using your CAC, like in the CDC video where you can use your ultimates if there's too many, you want to save your ultimate for your awakening. I'll go ahead and explain it real quick. For the reason why is that you basically all your abilities get enhanced. You get increased movement speed, defense, attack speed, and attack and movement speed all together, along with no staggerers from attacks. However, you can still die in the state and take damage. But that's not the reason we're going to be using it when we're surrounded by enemies. No, we're going to be using it when Echo appears within 5 minutes. Make sure you pace yourself with your stamina as well. It's important to keep doing that. If you ended up getting, say, surrounded, you can't get out of that, you can just press X to backflip. This will allow you to be invulnerable to animations, so long as you don't get hit when you get right back up to the ground. Like for me, it's just Rinikus. They don't really provide much of a threat because all they do is square attacks and then some triangles. Now when you got an enemy in follow-up attack, you want to make sure, if possible, make sure you can deal as much damage as you can before you will follow-up attack, preferably when you're near death. I used an ultimate here, like I said, not too earlier, but since I was struggling to get Amon and Yuri up, I had to push them back. And for some reason, of course, Yuzo did not want to revive the body. Now, I could have used the blue orb to continuously attack, but since there's only just a minute, and if one of them gets down, it's game over, regardless, even if you lose one person. The only problem I'll say you're gonna have trouble with Riniku is when they do the headshot animation, because it's rather long. Luckily, we got through that rather easy, no problems. We only had almost our entire team down, so that was almost a rough start. You can also try to use the pistol on them, because there's always going to be ammo dropping. If you get a headshot on CPUs, right here is also a bad example of what the CPU did. If you end up getting headshots on CPU, it deals more damage to them. This doesn't apply to players on PvP for some reason, I don't know why. Another thing you can try to potentially do is to keep your CPU partners alive by giving them a medkit. The chances of that happening though is a bit hard because they like to run like Freddy whenever you call them and then you move somewhere else to try to recall them. Yeah, it can be a bit of a problem. Luckily right here, Amon and Yuzo just so happen to use, well, Amon uses ultimate just as Yuzo Nakian follow-up attack. Now, when you do get a Tokyo Ghoul character at 50% HP, just keep your distance as they're going to use an ultimate. And depending on how low your HP is or who the character is, you may end up dead. And this can be a pretty bad thing. Right here would be a good follow-up attack. For some reason I didn't want to go up for it. Or right here. This is a better example, as long as they don't get up. Yep, there we go. But once they get down, you have a full awakening. There's no need to keep farming bodies, and there's no need reason to use your ultimate unless you're somehow your team's just surrounded by mini ghouls and they can't get the body. Right now, I'm looking up to see when Eto's going to be appearing, because she does fall from the sky randomly. Usually in around the 5-minute mark, she will always appear in hard mode, and I believe in normal. Right here, also, a red orb is your ultimate. If you do find one, go ahead and just walk into it, position yourself just right, and use your awakening, well not your awakening, but your ultimate. This just gives you another bar back for free, so basically it's as if you didn't even use bar of ultimate, which is really nice. The next 10 seconds, I believe, and of course I messed up without I was paying attention to my surroundings. Is Eto should be appearing. Not a lot of people look up when she spawns because you're too busy fighting down here. And where is she? There she is. Alright, since Eto is here, you don't want to use your ultimate. Instead, like I said earlier, you want to use your awakening. Now, it may seem tempting to use your ultimate, but the reason you want to use your awakening is because of this position right here. I'm trying to revive my teammates, but there's too many characters still about, and I'm gonna keep getting hit. Luckily here, I did manage to survive on 1 HP, but still, I have a Riniku that can just smack me. So for now, we just have to focus on surviving and hoping that my teammates will be able to get each other up. The only problem is I don't like to camp me by the body. So it can be a bit difficult. If you end up getting a high tier ghoul, maybe a ghoul character with Eto, you can throw out a CRC gas. It might help. As far as I can tell, it does seem to stop them from using the abilities, but it may still cause them to attack with the basic attack. While Eto is considered, I would say, a loss in the 5 minutes, I'd recommend taking out the mini ghouls and the ghouls with the HP bars before you tackle on Eto. If you end up not, it can be a bit of a struggle, because the mini ghouls are going to keep punching you, and then the bigger ghouls are going to hit you. Now, Eto for some reason around 60% health does her ultimate, which will track you before she shoots. Basically, she will turn, and then she'll fire, and then she will turn, and then fire. Since I didn't want to risk getting myself knocked back and losing the run, I decided to awaken here. I forgot how long the awakenings does last, but I believe Rampage does last a bit longer. Since I'm in a Rampage, well, not a Rampage, awakening state, I'll be able to at least do some damage. Just make sure you don't get too much damage off of Eto. Otherwise, it will be a bit of trouble. The only other trouble you may encounter is if Centipede appears. Although, I consider the one in the campaign story a bit harder. If you get past Eto, then you're pretty much good to go. You should be able to make it to the end. Also, one last thing before I let the video play out. Let's say you have 20 teammates getting K'd out, but then before, like, 55 seconds before the timer says you have done. You can let them stay down because it takes 1 minute for them to be fully dead, or gives you 1 minute to revive them. This applies to basically all game modes: campaign, story, PvP. Yeah, it basically applies all to that. So hopefully you manage to get this achievement. Hopefully you manage to get through it with ease. If not, you can also check out my Tokyo Ghoul CAC run. You might have a bit easier time with that. Or, you know, just try the train station. Anyways, that's it. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye!